Let's do it, man. Your name. No shit. Queens. Shout out to Queens. Queens. It's be just like y'all niggas, man. My joint, naughty, and the whole Queens. I play this all the time, man. Nah, I got a bitch on me clothes, with bitches on me clothes. The can cook, stay burning, sloppy joes, olive oil legs, even them stocky hoes. That shit is fire. Brian, those days of strictly face. Oh, my movement keep maze bumping. The one with total told you to violate my nausées. Damn. Moving on. The summer. You can bounce if you want to bounce, ball if you want to ball. It's alright. All the time. Drive by, blasting the shit. Okay. Better times. Let's talk about Scarlett, aka the DMX impersonator. You know, I don't want to be too harsh on Shorty, to be honest with you, because I do kind of like Scarlett. I'm gonna be real with you. She's a hard person to dislike. You know, she seems bubbly. Her story, obviously, you know, gets you kind of feeling for her. You know, that she's kind of come up in unfortunate circumstances. So it's hard for someone to just be like, man, this, you know what I'm saying? It's not like that, okay? And I do think that Scarlett can rap better than most of these new people out. You know what I'm saying? I do think that when you hear her, you can tell that this is somebody who has at least attempted to rap before yesterday. You know, she's put in some time. So yeah, I think she's okay. I think she's, you know, again, and I say okay in terms of like what I would expect from a newer rapper. You know, she's okay. I do think it's interesting how Glorilla, I think, has opened up the lane for a lot of these girls, and Glorilla's not going to get that credit, but that's just my opinion. I do think that Glorilla, because again, this is the great thing about being dope, right? And Glorilla, when she came out with FNF is dope. You know, when you're dope, you open up lanes for people. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people they might not realize this, but again, this is what, when we talk about influences, this is really what influence means. It's that you might, for example, nobody's paying attention to someone coming with that raw, you know, I'm from the hood, like really, I'm fucked up out here type of raps, right? Glorilla opened up that lane. Now Scarlett can kind of come through. Lola Brooke, right? Even Ice Spice, to a certain extent, is an response to Glorilla, right? Because before Glorilla, I would argue, you know, the newer female rappers, they were kind of, I mean, they were, you know, people were getting tired. It was the same old shit. The city girls were boring. Lotto, all that shit was boring. It was always boring, but, you know, people get tired. And then you get somebody that comes out with this sort of like hood energy, keeps it real, whatever. And now we're hearing them again. Now, my issue with Scarlett is, to me, she's kind of doing the cover artist thing, you know. I want to hear more. I want Scarlett to develop a little more. I do think that, in my opinion, she's undercooked. She may have actual talent. I do sense a little bit of it. But we won't know, because right now she's sort of this DMX, really Onyx, let's be real here, clone to a certain degree, you know, but the female version. And I do think it's interesting how she's getting all this props for kind of, you know, bringing DMX back, but really her voice isn't as dynamic as, say, a DMX. And her voice and even her aggression has this Onyx vibe to it, but nobody's gonna really talk about Onyx because Onyx aren't that well respected compared to DMX. Again, we understand the rap game. I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, for example, when you look at someone like Tekashi 6ix9ine, Tekashi 6ix9ine to me is very in that sticky, Onyx-y type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing with Scarlett. I just want her to develop more. But I think she's, you know, she has some sort of potential. It's hard for me to say. I've checked out a couple of her songs. It didn't really do anything for me. The one that she's kind of coming out with now, I can't remember the name of it, but you know, something, she was New York, whatever. Again, you see, I've forgotten the name. I should know the name, right? I've heard it once. I should already be like, yeah, I love this song, or I like this song, and I've already forgotten the title. But the point is that I did think that she can, you know, she flowed decent on it, but it wasn't dope enough for me to really sit there and go like, yeah, I respect where this chick is coming from. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, in a lot of ways, the dark side of all this is that it again shows really that this rap shit is pretty much dead, because we shouldn't be looking for cover artists. You know, you guys might sit here and make fun of me, you know, in terms of, you know, oh, you listen to Playboy Cardi, you listen to ASAP. Like I said, those guys are originals. When Playboy Cardi came out with self-titled, that was original. There was no, it wasn't a cover artist of some older artist. It was just Playboy Cardi, right? When ASAP came out, I wasn't thinking to myself, oh, here is the next DMX. Here's the next Nas. Here's the, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just, oh, this is ASAP Rocky. And when you listen to it, yes, you can sense some influences. You can sense, oh, okay, all right. There's some, you know, 3 6 Mafia influence in here. There's some Rakim. There's some, you know, Cameron. You can tell, like, there's certain influences. Wiz Khalifa, Snoop Dogg, like, you know. But again, it's a mix of things, and that's what's cool. It's like when you become your own person, you have a mix of influences. But when you're just copying one person and you're coming out as one person, it's very boring. You know what I'm saying? And that's Scarlett to me. Scarlett is DMX. Essentially, DMX's long lost daughter type thing. That's boring. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to really hear that. And frankly, that shouldn't be something that should be celebrated, because the reality of the matter is that hip hop needs to expand its topics. It needs to expand its you know, the type of people it represents. Okay, like DMX already did that. Already did the, you know, growing up in the foster system, abused, all that shit. He's, you know, he's already put on for those kind of people. And it's not to say that we don't want to hear from them, but if I'm going to hear from you and you're coming with that DMX type of childhood upbringing shit, you better be original. You can't just do DMX again. Okay, this isn't UNICEF. I'm sorry. Like, I'm I hate this idea of rap, you know, being this thing that like is almost like a handout to like a random person in the hood to save them from poverty. That's some bullshit to me. Because at the end of the day, and look, listen, I understand some people are going to say, well, but Tochi, you know, rap did save some lives in the hood, or how could you not look at it like that? Because a lot of artists look at it like that. I get it. But the fact of the matter is that I, as a black person who's not from the hood at all, who loves hip hop and was into hip hop a long time ago, I like rap because rap expresses creativity, period. I love to see my black folk be creative. So if you're from the hood and you're creative, I definitely want to hear from you. But it can't just be, you know, hood self-destruction shit. I mean, that shit's, A, it's boring, but B, it's obviously a problem. You know what I'm saying? We're celebrating self-destruction. I'm not into that shit. Some of y'all might be, but I'm not into that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's got to go somewhere. It's like when DMX came out with his story and he was showing that, look, listen, someone who's abused in the foster system and all that shit. It's like, okay, we should have learned from DMX and then moved on. Do you know what I'm saying? Not to just keep finding retrograde DMXs, you know, that aren't nowhere near as talented as him and just keep putting on that shit, because then it's just celebrating self-destruction, and I'm not into that. Okay? Now, speaking of DMX, I did have a chance to check out this Swizz Beatz tape. Let's switch it to some Swizz Beatz. Turn the lights even lower. This was trash. I'm sorry. You guys know that this you know, Hip Hop 50 with Swizz Beatz was somehow even worse than the Primo one, even though both of them were forgettable as fuck. But yeah, I'm actually really shocked at how bad the beats are. And this is coming from somebody who's a huge Swizz fan. I play Money Cash shows like it just came out. You know I love this record. I've been saying that this is one of the greatest rap beats ever, okay? Just the creativity of it, the whole shit. So I expect dope shit from Swizz, because Swizz is a brilliant producer. He's made brilliant shit. So when, you know, you hear these whack beats and it's just a coast along, it's kind of like, it's disappointing, man. Especially to celebrate hip hop being 50. It's like, damn, we've got 2 washed releases in a row. What are you trying to tell me? You trying to tell me hip hop is washed at 50? So yeah, I didn't like none of these, man. I didn't like none of these tracks. I'll never listen to them again. the last one was kind of hilarious to me because it's Sleepy J Electronica coming out the woodwork doing Echo, his impression of Echo, which I don't personally care for, but it's like these guys, they never really have their own ideas. Their whole thing is retread of someone else. Even I think he even says, I think he even has a Nas, like a Nas bar in there, like he kind of references Nas. It's Sleepy, man. You know, it's so lazy to me. It's like I'm just here because Nas and I'm in the circle, right? I'm in the circle of legends, so therefore I'm like their younger representative. Get the fuck out of here, man. Boring. Enough of this boring shit, man. Where's the real shit at?